Welcome back for another OG Show Live. Mr. Randall, how you doing?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Reel Down.
Welcome back to another episode of Bass Fishing for News.
Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to once again the Bass Kayak Beers.
Brother, this is the final cast.
Another segment of Chasing the Tide, your saltwater connection on the Paddle Pin.
Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of Feather and Fur. Your host, Brad.
Welcome back to the Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Crystal.
Hey, welcome back to Off the Water.
Happy
Susie Q here with Adventures of Outdoor Woman podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast.
We're brought to you by Pelican, built tough for all situations. Go to pelican.com. Eastport Marina on the beautiful shores of Dale Hollow Lake. For all your lodging, kayaking, go to eastport.info. Yak Gadget for all your fine kayak fishing accessory needs. Go to yakgadget.com. What's going on? Facebook Live, YouTube. Jay Randall,
Brian
podcast listeners. Sorry we missed you last week. Your boy finally got COVID, so we kind of put the kibosh on that Thursday night. I got home from work and I was just like, I don't feel right. Took a test. Actually, it's right here. Came back positive in like 20 seconds. I'm like, yep, well, there we go.
Is that the one you peed on?
No, that's the other one. But yeah, man, apologize to everybody for the last minute cancellation. I had double duty last week. I was doing the New Canoe podcast and then this one. And so I had to shift that all to this week. So I just got done with the New Canoe podcast, and now I'm here with these beautiful people. And yeah, back to life, back to reality. So how you doing, Mr. Randall?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Enjoying the weather and enjoying being a weekend warrior hunter. It's like just chomping at the bit like all week.
Well, you've been posting some pretty cool pictures, man. Like I know it's a little different environment for you now that you're in Tennessee, but you've been seeing all kinds of elk.
Yeah,
you got bugled at 20 yards away. You said you had to change your shorts a couple times, something like that.
Yeah, apparently I'm pretty good at finding elk. Who would have thought? You know, I'm looking for deer. I'm finding elk. So maybe if I look for elk, I'll find deer. But no, yeah, I mean, just in the first morning, I had those. I had that one big bull elk, and then like that picture that I posted. I think that's him.
Sure.
But he had an enormous like spread on his antlers. I mean, he was huge, super dark. You know, you could tell he's definitely older.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, and he bugled like right behind me. Because I was texting you. I was like, dude, oh, this is so cool. Because this is like stuff you see on videos all the time, you know, on YouTube and all that. Yeah, and then I went back in the evening and I was in a ground blind instead of being in the tree this time. And that younger one came out and he was coming, like he was really curious about the blind, I think.
Sure.
He kept like coming up, walking up, looking. And I'm just like, and it's funny because I got like the phone and I'm like this. I'm like going really slow, just kind of backing off, you know. I'm just like, well, you know, this isn't a hunting opportunity. This is pretty awesome. But he came in within like 20 yards, which was pretty amazing because, I mean, that's like a dream shot, I think, for anybody. Like broadside perfectly. I mean, it was a done deal, you know, if it was legal. But,
yeah,
you know, got to figure all that out. But, yeah, man, it's really amazing up there because you just never – I see a lot more stuff I just never saw in Illinois.
Sure.
You know, I mean, you know, I could use a little bit more deer, but there's a lot of turkey, and it's kind of a bummer because where I'm hunting, you can't hunt turkeys in the fall. So, and then of course elk are coming by. I mean, I'm seeing deer, but it's not ideal conditions yet. But yeah, it's hard. Like not my old lifestyle was I could go out after work.
Sure.
And now it's like not so much. It's I mean, because I'm going an hour away, you know.
Right.
But it's cool out here, man. It's really nice.
No, it's cool, man. It's I'm sure it's definitely a unique experience for sure, you know, being that close to such a big, powerful animal. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
I'm not even having a clue, but which kind of segues in our guest tonight, you know, outdoor photography. I mean, this guy's been on numerous times. He's a good friend of ours, Mr. JD Desrosiers. He started his own company called Immersive LLC. So we're going to chat with him, find out what this whole project is about, and, you know, catch up and hear the good word. Hopefully get some good reggae musics, you know, suggestions from my man here. But let's get him in the house, Mr. JD Desrosiers.
What's up, fellas?
How you
What's
doing,
up, man?
brother? You've been busy, my man.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, man. It's good. I know a couple weeks ago we all kind of saw a post come across the old interwebs that you've formed an LLC and you're dipping your toes into this outdoor space a little bit more than you already were, man. So what led you to this?
I think it's just been a long time coming. I've wanted to do it for several years now, and I think it was just a good time, not only financially but mentally. I've really put a lot of thought about it, and my wife and I have talked a tremendous amount about it. I've talked to other business owners in the local area and tried to get some insight on forming the LLC and all that, and was hoping I was going to have kind of like a mentor to walk me through it, but I didn't. I did a little bit, but I had to learn a lot of it on my own, which it's been good and bad. I mean, it's been stressful setting it up at times,
Sure.
but overall, it's been a great experience trying to set it up. But yeah, we're gonna give this a go for a couple years and see what happens, and hopefully it'll grow. Just kind of honestly, I pray about it, and I'm putting it in God's hands, and let his plan go into place.
Right on, man. Well, for those that may not have seen or don't know, what is Immersive LLC?
So yeah, I've always tried to put people in my shoes when I either take an image or write an article. I want to fully immerse you in my environment. So that's what led to the name Immersive. And my brother Ant Sanders, he was awesome at working with him and designing the artwork. Actually wound up with like 4 high-res vector files that I can use for anything. The color logo that you flashed up is one of my favorite ones. Yeah,
it looks good.
Sure.
I really like the monochrome. I like it a lot also. So yeah, well, it's all about outdoor photography, landscape photography, drone images, and I'm dipping around and playing a little bit more and more in social media management. Currently, I'm managing the Dodson fly fishing social media pages, and it's been really, really good. Been doing that for like 7 months now, and it's been month over month. It's been extremely successful for not only them but myself. And just going to keep pushing the outdoor thing. You know, I'm going to work to get a website set up. Gonna have all kind of different images on there for sale. I'm gonna try to offer them on Canvas, and then if the client or whoever wants a special request to print on glass or something different, then we'll go from there.
Oh, it's super cool, man. I know, you know, obviously I've been following you for quite a while, and you know, I'm always chatting with you about some of your images and stuff. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, I need some prints.
Yep, you sure
this
did.
TV's going away, and we're gonna have some JD Desrosiers prints up here, man.
Yeah, man. I gotta loop back in with you. I know you reached out immediately, which completely floored me. I was like, that's so awesome, and I was completely taken back away, taken from that. And I've got some information for you.
Nice. No, I wasn't trying to put you on the spot there, man. I know you've been
No.
been working on this project and stuff, but it's cool, man. Like you always get some pretty stellar images, man. And and it's exactly like the title of the company says, man, immersive. Like I feel like I'm immersed in where you're at or what you're doing a lot of times when I see your images that you're putting up, man. And it's super cool.
I appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, I'm gonna share a couple of photos up here as we're talking, just kind of off your Instagram as well, So,
okay.
But yeah, man. I mean, so you got everything formed. How long do you think till like you're gonna have your website up and running and all that good stuff, my man?
I'm to the point now where I've been doing some research, trying to figure out who's actually going to design the site. I don't want a crazy elaborate site. I want something, pretty clean, pretty simple. It's kind of my style anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping within the next, month or so,
Sure.
I'll have something. And I like that dragonfly image that you just threw up. I've been playing around more and more with macro photography, so that's been a really fun thing to segue and play around in.
Yeah, it's super cool to see all that fine detail and that you wouldn't normally catch with your normal eye,
I was thinking that would look good as a painting too.
Oh yeah,
just because of those colors, like how brilliant that would be, even with like brush strokes. It looks like it would translate over that pretty good.
That'd be rad.
With canvas, I mean, my dad used to do that too, because I mean, me and you have talked about that. So he would do a few things on canvas. I know you said that you're looking into it and considering it. Would you also be into like custom sizes? Like for instance, somebody's got like a specific spot, in their house, and maybe they like one picture, and you could highlight like that one picture and and cut it to frame and then blow it up to fit in that spot.
Definitely.
I think that would be cool. Yeah,
definitely. If the client reaches out within a X amount of days, I'll provide them with feedback to say, hey, I can get this size, this size, this size, and this is the price point for those sizes.
Yeah,
nice.
I've been really go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think about your landscape shots, like, because you shoot a lot, like I would too, like from the water, like trying to get that angle where you can get that depth, but you got all this detail like throughout the picture, and you kind of bring everything in. Like I could see that hanging in my living room, one of those shots,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean the company I work with for the prints, they can do so many different sizes. They can do triptychs. They can do all kind of things.
Cool.
So it's really cool. It's very affordable price point. Some companies will burn you, but yeah, that was shot last fall in my backyard.
See, that's a cool shot. That's kind of like, it's along the lines of what I was talking about, like how you get those shots and you just bring in everything else.
Yeah, 100%,
appreciate it,
dude. Yeah,
I've been really enjoying like getting up super early, like 4:30 in the morning, and hiking into the backcountry and getting way high and getting some really cool sunrise shots. I haven't posted a lot of those because I'm like, man, I want to put them on the website because they're pretty good. They're pretty special for me.
Our good friend, the Creek Crawler on YouTube's in the chat. He says, just be careful and don't get sucked into bird photography. Next thing you know, you'll be crawling in the bushes wearing full camo.
That's something that translates pretty well. I was telling Brian, like, but from seeing these elk during hunt season, I think after hunting season, I'm going to go out there and with the blind and just sit out there and use the camera and try to get some really cool shots of them on the grass flats.
Oh, absolutely.
I know. I think it'll be like, especially when it's cold and they're breathing out, just to try to get, see the air coming out of their, the mist or whatever coming out of their nostrils.
Oh yeah,
There'd be some cool stuff out there.
That would be wicked. And it'd be like, super cool to do a print like that, like have the elk, like black and white, and then color add the elk.
Well,
that's sweet.
I can tell you this, JD. If you want to come out here, I know where to find them. I don't know how it happened, but it happened.
Yeah, I remember us talking last week about it. They're such a cool creature, man.
Yeah, they're robust. I mean, they're huge. But I was just thinking,
huge.
They're such a gorgeous animal. It's like just to see. I don't know. It's just really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely unique, that's for sure. But you talked about it, color coding in the elk and having everything else black and white, and I think that's something unique that you do quite a bit of. And I've always been like, man, I need you to show me how to do this. Like, and you're like, it's real easy, dude. Anytime you want to learn, and I never hit you up on it, but it's something like super unique. You don't see a ton of photographers or artists doing a ton of these days, but you do quite a bit of it, man. So like, what kind of led you to that? And I'm gonna throw up a picture here. I think it's a drone photo of you on the paddleboard, and you kind of got yourself colored in, but the water and everything else behind you is black and white.
It's trying to like draw attention to a certain area of the image, but I really like it. I mean, it's like you said, it's different. Not a lot of people do it. It kind of helps me stand apart a little bit. But yeah, those two photos were shot within 30 seconds of each other. It's just the photo has to call for that style of edit, because a lot of time it doesn't work, and that's cool. I mean, that's why you shoot so many, to see what you want to do or what your final outcome's going to be. But with that edit, that one was a little hard, because the fly line was, man, that was tedious to get right. Because the lines got like a little like sage green color to it. Sure. And I was trying to bring that out.
It's cool how you got like the reflection, and then you've got the shade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you're like right in the middle of that. That's pretty cool.
Trying to get that framing right. That's what I love, is like, I love framing in an image, because it can tell the framing itself can tell a whole story.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. What kind of got you into photography in general, man? Like, is it something you've just done since you were young, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of always been a creative thinker, I guess. Think outside of the box. I mean, that comes from growing up being a punk skater, I guess. And once I kind of got into high school, I always took like arts, and that image, sorry, that's like quadruple layers of different images stacked on top of each other to form one image.
Dude, the effect you have on this picture, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Like, this definitely looks like it's dated. It's definitely, I mean, it looks like it's, probably from, early 1900. Well, no, okay, wrong. Like more mid 1900s. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, 1950, whatever. Somebody just fishing in the backcountry. I mean, it doesn't look like you have that much modern equipment on, is why I say it's like, so it's a real fine portion of time you can fit it, but it's cool because it really gives you an older feel to it. And just like the contrast, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's exactly what I was going for, like an old world look. But yeah, sorry, Brian, you threw that image up and it completely.
No, you're good.
I was like, oh, this is a good talking point.
You're good.
But so in like high school, I took art, blah blah blah, crafts, all this, and they had a photography class, and I just jumped in there, and I was like, shoot, man, this is a blast. This is fun. And it was just basic, shooting with point and shoots or whatnot. And there at the end, it got into, a little bit higher end equipment. But then as soon as I got into college, I was like, oh, I got to take, electives. So I'm going to take photography. I was already an art student taking graphic design. So I was like, well, I'm going to take art history and photography and see which one I can double minor in. And it was art history because I wasn't able, the college didn't offer a minor in photography, but I just took everything they had. And it was shooting. So I shot with a Pentax K1000 from 1976, which was the year I was born. And it was all film photography and learning the darkroom and how to process film. But it was really cool because they would let us go out in class. It was a 1 day a week class, and you could go out and shoot for 7 hours if you want, but you had to come back and process at least one roll of film so they knew you wasn't out goofing off. But really, you were goofing off. And then I just kept with it from there. And I've taken, I shoot with GoPro, I shoot with drones. I've taken GoPro classes, DJI classes. I've taken Sony classes just to try to push myself. And then I got into like you mentioned earlier, more of the post editing. Oh, that's the Flint. Got more into like post editing, kind of like this, like color adding and creating more of a vintage style image. So I started kind of taking classes on editing, and now here we are.
So these classes you're taking, like, is it just like some online classes, or are you going to like a community college and sitting in a classroom? So it's all online stuff that you're kind of learning from.
Yep, online.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah, most of them are free, so it's just me taking advantage of it. And through COVID and the lockdown, man, that's when I had a great opportunity to take a lot of this. That's when I learned so much about post editing and pushing that envelope further for post editing. And I just went into like full learning mode for probably 6 months.
Nice. Yeah, and I know, like, I've talked to you quite a bit, and you're like, dude, I shot that on a GoPro, and I was like, what? Like, it looks like he shot it on a Sony or a Canon with a $5,000 piece of glass on it. You know what I mean? And you're like, no, bro, it's you're using some basic tools, but putting out some high quality stuff, which is pretty sweet.
That's my whole goal. I don't want to sound, I don't know, whatever. I don't want to feel like you have to have $5,000 piece of glass or a $10,000 camera. Yes, they have their place for sure, but most people can't afford that, Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you can push these phones so far, man, like they have pro modes, and if you learn how to use pro mode in your phone, man, you can do some crazy things with it. And they're outputting 12 to 25 megapixels out of a phone. Man, you can blow that up as big as you want at 20, 25 megapixels. But yeah, like those GoPros, you can push those things to another level. I mean, they're shooting 24 megapixels now. So yeah, why not take the tools that you have, learn the most you can about it, and push those things, those tools as far as they can go. That's kind of what I'm into. I mean, honestly, I've got like 3 or 4 pieces of equipment that I shoot with, and I just try to push them and push myself to the furthest level that I'm capable of.
No, it's cool, man. And especially like you said, nowadays, everybody's got a pretty sweet camera on them at all times on their cell phone, and they don't even realize it, like I'm about to pick up the new iPhone 14 Pro. Like it's in, I just got to go pick it up, and I'm trying to look up, I forget what it is. It's 48 megapixels.
That's insane.
Yeah, I got the Motorola Edge. It is upgraded 50 megapixel. So, and they got another version that's like 124.
I mean, you can blow that up the size of a billboard.
I know.
Right?
I know. I was like, I think 50 is okay. I was like, I'll be able to do what I got.
Yeah, man, that's insane. Who would have ever thought a camera phone would do that? That's so
Oh,
cool.
Well, and it'll shoot in RAW versus
Yeah,
like JPEG,
absolutely.
which is crazy, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's how I
yeah.
shoot my GoPros. Shoot raw.
Okay. Yeah. That way in post you could finagle with that. Like if you guys aren't familiar with photography, like you have your typical JPEG format and RAW is just another format, but you can edit that more in post with things like Adobe Lightroom and things like that to make that image look way even more better than what it comes out with just from the initial photograph, which is cool, man. Like, are you using Lightroom a bunch? Is that what you're mainly using for editing?
Yep. Yes. Yeah, I love it. It's
Yeah.
so intuitive and user friendly. It's a lot more user friendly than Photoshop will ever be. I mean, Photoshop's great. I've used it a ton too, but I really like Lightroom.
Yeah. I've played with it a little bit, just shooting some raw images for my work of some remodel projects and things like that, and being able to go back and adjust those light levels and things like that just makes that image look that much more crisp, at the end of the day, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that what you're doing your color coding in too? See,
Yep.
I need to go to the school of JD Desrosiers. But
anytime, man. Just like I always say, just hit me up, man. We'll do it.
Yeah. No,
Ain't
it's
nothing but
super
say.
Cool, man.
We'll have you do it in a couple minutes.
Oh, that's sweet.
I've been playing around with vintage cameras. So
okay.
I've put a few images up here and there, but I'm trying to look around and get my bearings about me where my cameras are at in my house. But I've got like 6 cameras throughout my house that my grandpa, my wife and I built our house beside. Right before he passed away, he kind of started parting stuff out, and I was able to acquire 6 of his cameras that he collected. He was a big antiquer. So I've got several that are near and dear. My favorite one, I wish I could go grab it. It's so cool looking, but it's like from 1948 or 52. I can't remember. But I recently I shot a sunset image of that, and then about a week later, I did a medium. I shot through a medium format antique camera, and that was really cool too. And yes, I mean, people are like, "Yo, you should clean the cameras up and clean the lenses," and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want these things to look like they were shot from 1950. I don't want it to be crisp and clean. So I'm gonna keep them the way they are. And my whole goal is to take not all 6 cameras out, because one of them is not worth taking out. It's a cool, but it's kind of broken in some places. But I'm gonna go around like downtown Greenville. The town I live in is Greer, and I want to go. It's got a cool downtown scene also, and I just want to do like some old vintage downtown images, maybe a little bit industrial images here and there. Yeah, that's one.
On a 1943 Kodak.
Yeah, that's medium format camera.
That's cool, man.
That's the only brown one that oh, there
it is.
Yep. So it almost looks just like, I've got one that's brown out there. I've never seen a brown one besides the one I've got. Not saying they're not out there, but they definitely are. But they're just pretty. You always see black. So when I saw the brown, I was like, oh man, Pops, can I have this one too? I grab all you want. I don't care.
So is there places still developing film, or are they giving that to you like on a disc now? Like, is it all digital format?
No, you can get film developed. There's a studio here in town in Greenville that will process film. They're kind of known in the South Carolina photography realm, but I shot those digitally, man. I used another camera through the viewfinder to shoot a quick image to see what was going to happen. Is it worth pursuing or not? And I saw it and I was like, oh man, I got to run with this.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool.
So I let a secret out.
My
camera and shoot it through the viewfinder. I like it.
My dad ended up leaving a bunch of I think I've got like 7 or 8 older cameras. One of them looks kind of old. I don't even know how to use a couple of them. I don't even know where to start. But they're just sitting in a crate. You know what I mean? Like we just moved in the house. We're still not all decorated and everything, but I don't know what to do with them because he's got the nice digital ones I got. And then he's got some of the older ones. I mean, he liked the mirror cameras too. He liked the little handheld mirror cameras, and
nice.
he was a big Pentax fan. So he had a case like dedicated to like 5 of them.
Nice,
because they had the lenses you can take off and change in between all of them and stuff. So he had like that. So I got all that stuff too.
Nice.
So I'll have to show you I'll have to dig those out, the older ones, and get some pictures to you because I don't know what I'm looking at. I mean, I like cameras and stuff too. I mean, I never was into it as much as my dad, but I mean, he really, when he saw something, I don't know, he was a true photographer. Let's just put it that way,
That's awesome.
Sounds like he went down the same road you did, pretty much. It's like, you're like, I like this. Hey, that's old. I'll take that,
Yeah. They're like my cameras around the house. They're like really good conversation pieces for people when they first come in. They're like, oh man, where'd you get this? I got a whole story I can tell about it if they have the time to listen. I get long-winded.
It's like fishing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Where'd you get that old lure or rod or reel or whatever? Yeah. No, that's super cool, man. It's interesting, it's like it's funny, like I was like you, man. I took some photography classes in high school, and it was kind of like took that as like a blow-off class almost in high school, and then really kind of fell in love with it, and then got older, fell away from it, and now we're in this whole outdoor space, and now with social media and that being a huge part of working with some of these companies, like those photo skills come right back, and it's in a crucial, essential role in kind of what we do for some of these companies. We got dude, the man, the myth, the legends in the house, Mr. Richard DeVries.
What's up, Richard?
What's up, sir? Hope you're doing well. But it's kind of cool how that stuff all comes back, and it's it's something that you probably figured out, I'm never going to really use this or really need it, back in the day, and now it's almost an essential role of what we do in this space,
Yeah, I agree 100%. Because like, just to reflect off what you were saying, when you interview or talk to these companies that you're wanting to work with or are already working with, they have a plan. They want people for tournaments. They want people for, to go do this, and they want people for marketing,
right.
and to help spread that word through their talents, whether it's writing or working a show or photography. I think it's super cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's something like I always thought would be a cool job when I was a kid, and then like, life catches up and you're like, yeah, that's not a reality. Now it's like, unless you're gonna go out and shoot like weddings and portraits, you know what I mean? Like for the longest time that it seemed like that was like the only way you could break into that space, and now with the social media front, between Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and all these other things, like that's such a huge thing, and companies are really relying hard on photographers and videographers for their marketing departments through these avenues.
Definitely. That's funny you said wedding. I've done some wedding photography, and I'm like, no way, man.
Yeah.
not again.
I was actually going to ask you too.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. I mean, every wedding I did, I knew people really well.
Sure.
The last two I did were probably the funnest ones. One of my good friends, Vern, he had me do his wedding. It was an absolute riot. I could do whatever I want, go wherever I want throughout the wedding. Like in the middle of ceremony, I'm like running around upside people and, hey man, I got to get in here real quick just to get this angle. But like he probably has 20 of my images printed in his house just from his wedding, and it's so cool to see that.
Yeah.
But the last wedding I did, I shot like 1,700 images and wound up editing down and providing the family with 800 plus images. And I did all that in 3 days. And I was like, man. Never again.
You probably didn't charge enough. You're like, oh man.
It was just, burning the midnight oil to 3 and 4 in the morning and just trying to edit these pictures. I'm like, man, my eyes are burning. They're on fire. But yeah, I'll stick with landscape and
I mean,
nature.
I could see you as like the journalistic photographer, at the wedding.
Yeah.
Taking, I like those kind of shots where, nobody knows you're taking that shot. It's life happening as it's happening, and it's all real, all the expression, everything that's going on. I like that type of photography.
Yeah. I would like
Jay's got a wedding coming up, bro. Just saying.
Yeah, JD.
Maybe you could get a higher gig.
There you go.
I'll
get you to come out. Yeah.
I would like to be like if I did another wedding or got involved in that arena again, like you said, Jay, I would want to be a companion to another photographer, so I can just try to capture those special moments on my own. If I see it, oh, there it is, and grab it.
Yeah. Nice.
Is it? I wonder if I'm inviting JD now.
Yeah.
I'll be like, bring the camera.
Oh, I definitely bring the camera.
I know.
Ain't nothing but a drive, man. Ain't nothing but a drive.
I know, right?
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, it ain't far. 2.5 hours.
Is that all you guys are apart from each other?
Yeah.
Is that what you from Knox? I mean, from where you're at to Knoxville, you're 2.5 hours.
Yep.
Richard. Oh God.
It's gonna be the bomb. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. You left Jay speechless and turning a little red.
He's turning red. He's turning red.
Turning red. Shut up, stupid.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. I got a good friend of mine, dude, that I've known for many, many years, and he's actually into food photography. So, you guys,
that's awesome.
See a picture of a cheeseburger on an ad for McDonald's, and it looks all nice and plump and juicy, and
like they never look when you get them in real life.
Exactly. And I always tell him that. I'm like, dude, why don't you just go get one from the drive-through and actually take a picture of what it's really going to look like. But he would do some weddings on the side with his wife, and he was just like, man, this is brutal. Like, I don't want to do this ever again, but he for a long time wanted to get into doing landscapes and things like that, and like some outdoor photography stuff. And I've been talking to him recently about getting him out here and doing a couple photo shoots with me. And he's like super jazzed. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, I'd love to do that just to get away from what I normally do. He's like, you can only shoot so many pictures of a turkey sandwich or a cheeseburger before your like eyeballs want to be like just gouged out, but it's cool, man. It's something different and unique for him,
Are you gonna enter into the real estate arena with that drone?
Maybe.
I mean, there's opportunity there. That's
for sure. Yeah, there in South Carolina, there's several websites you can go to and find out like what clients are looking for drone photography. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've thought about doing something like that too. Well, it's been a thought. It hasn't gone much further than that. Like, I'm not like, I'm drawing up plans. I've been comparing. No. It's just been like, yeah, maybe that'd be cool.
Got to get that.
Good friend Richard's in the chat. He says Jay's going to have to choose between fishing, hunting, or honeymooning. What will he choose?
I already told him, dude, like, you got to reserve at least 2 bass boats because we're going to be renting boats. I'm not doing any kayaks on this trip. We're just doing boats. Oh, yeah. And then the whole getting married thing.
Yeah.
That's on like the first day we're there. And then the rest of it's just playing around. So it's all good.
I like it. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. What else have you been up to, my man? I mean, you just told us before we hopped on here, you were just teaching a fly tying class. So like, I know that's something you've been doing quite a bit of too, right?
Oh yeah. So it's just past 1 year of tying, and it's been an absolute blast, man. I mean, it's just like learning something new from scratch. I had no clue even how to start like wrapping thread the correct way, and now I'm like fully engulfed in it. Probably have over $1,000 in materials sitting around.
Oh yeah.
And we tied some bass bugs tonight. So let's see if I can get it on camera good. It's kind of hard to hold this thing. It's a Clouser minnow. It's got some red eyes,
a little bit of flash in there.
Yeah, a little flash. So it's kind of manky, kind of stringy looking, which that's how these are supposed to be. But it's a bait fish pattern, so it's good for smallmouth, largemouth. Some saltwater fish will eat Clousers for sure. But Bob Clouser invented that pattern way back when, and he's still tying them today. I actually watched one of his videos today, and he knocks that thing out in like 3 seconds. He's it's done. But yeah, so every Thursday night at Dodson's Fly Fishing, our local fly shop, we have a fly tying night, and my buddy usually leads the class. When he doesn't, I step in and lead. But he has a Raspberry Pi camera that he's fabbed up, and we plug into a 70-inch TV, and we go step by step through the pattern with everybody who's there, and we usually have 5 to 20 people each week.
That's cool, man.
It's super fun. It's a great way to build community, to push one another, and just to show love and support for the fly fishing industry and for the local fly shop.
Well, not only that, but just another way to be creative. It's fly tying, man. It's such an art. I got into it pretty heavy back then, and I probably got $1,000 worth of materials that I haven't touched, in a couple of years. But it's something unique about that, right? Like being able to go out and catch a wild fish on a fly you tied. It's like, I did that. I tricked that fish into thinking this was actually a real thing. And there's something real pure about that. You know what I mean? Not to get all like fly fishing nose up snooty on you, but it's just like to do that and go out and catch a fish on a pattern you tied up, and it's definitely an accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, man, that's full circle right there. You took a bare hook, tied this pattern and tricked the fish. Yeah, it doesn't get any better. I've got some. Here's a really cool. Oh, sorry, I'm trying not to go down the fly fishing wormhole.
You're good.
I don't know if I can
try not to get immersed.
Yeah. Look at me. Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh wow, look at that. That's cool.
That's a micro popper. Yeah,
nice.
It's man, I can't get.
I'd have to have like a friend tie the line on that one. I can't even see that.
Man, why you think I'm wearing glasses now?
Dude, like I'm not even kidding. I got readers like near me.
Yeah,
It's like,
man.
just got to that point now.
Yeah, I used to have one of
Exactly.
those big magnifying glasses with the light underneath it that I would use, and like I remember tying patterns and like just like stepping back and just being like, "Holy crap! I can't see a damn thing. Everything's blurry," you know. And it takes
Turn into an old man. Hold on. Here we go. Hey, changes the whole look, doesn't it? I can't even see you guys. Oh, it's yeah. Welcome to the world of being over 40. Yeehaw.
Yeah, I'm having to wear them all the time, Jay.
Oh man. It's so hard to like, because I know I need these like throughout the day sometimes. Like, I mean, let's go to the grocery store. You got to read ingredients. You're like, if I can't read it, I'm not eating it.
Oh man, super cool. I mean, have you ever thought about building your own fly rod to go along with that?
I think it would be cool, man. I don't know anybody like around me that builds rods. I would love to bump into somebody and kind of learn that, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm pretty happy with my Douglas rods.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with that, right? But it's going back to that kind of pure thing, right? Like you're tying your fly, like because I have a rod I built and an old Eagle Claw glass rod that I rebuilt, and I don't know, man, it's something cool about that catching a fish and a rod you built with a fly you tied. Like
yeah, man, that's crazy.
That was my thing, like I was like, I want to do this just for that thing, because I mean, it's pretty hard to make fly line and fly reels, but I can make these other components. And it was just something very cool and special to me to be able to do that. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to like make a bamboo rod because like my style is backcountry creeking.
Sure.
I chase blue lines, I chase wild fish. So that would be right up my alley, like a bamboo rod, something.
I've
real
never made a
lightweight.
bamboo rod, so I'm not that badass. But like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, I mean, have you ever watched what it takes to build a bamboo rod? Have you ever seen some of those? Dude, go down the YouTube rabbit hole and just search like bamboo rod build. And it's pretty incredible what those guys do to build those actual fly rods. Like, and it's no wonder why they cost thousands of dollars, at the end of the day, because of like the amount of hours and time that goes into that. And just like the fine detail in order to make one of those rods is just insane.
They're beautiful. I mean, they're works of art that you're fishing with. Mm-hmm. Like I held a Berkheimer, CF Berkheimer rod tonight before I left the shop. And it had the reel seat was bird's eye curly maple. And I was like, yeah, do I want to put a reel on this thing? Like, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't want to scratch this. Yeah. It's intense, man. Like you get into that whole fly fishing realm, it's like a whole new world compared to, conventional fishing. It's just
crazy expensive.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, it can be crazy expensive, but now with the advancements in technology, you could actually get into it for fairly cheap.
This is very true.
You can, like, Reddington makes a field kit. Orvis makes a field kit. That's rod, reel, and line for under $200. And then if you want to step up a little bit, then you can get like an entry level Reddington rod. Douglas makes really good affordable rods. They got the Era and the LRS. So yeah, you don't have to. It can get crazy if you wanted to.
Yeah. But I've held a couple $1,000s just in rod in my hand. I'm like, and I know there's more expensive ones than that. I was just like, holy cow,
that's plenty. I'm like, I get nervous. Like, you want me to throw this, $1,500 rod with a $1,500 reel on it? Like, man, what if I drop this thing? I'm gonna have to go take a loan out.
Yeah, I had a guy do that to me out in Colorado on the Blue River, And he was like, "What kind of rod and reel you got?" And I'm like, "I got this like 4-weight I built, and this it was the Cabela's RLS reel, which is a decent entry level reel, And he's like, "No, you need more power than that." So he's like, "Here," and hands me like, I think it was a sage rod. I forget what the reel was, but I was just like, dude, I'm like afraid to break this thing because I can't afford to replace it, at the time, but wow, what a difference, in performance.
Yeah, man.
We
crazy.
landed some real nice rainbows and brown trout out on that Blue River, man. Those rainbows
That's awesome.
get huge out there because of the reservoir in Dillon. There's freshwater shrimp, and when they release the water, they release it from kind of like the bottom of the reservoir. So those shrimp come into that creek system, or river system, I should say, and those fish just gorge on them. So they get huge. It's a huge blue ribbon stream out there, man. And I've fished it a couple times and caught some pretty incredible fish out there, man. I highly recommend it to anybody that goes out there. And there's a little fly shop in Silverthorne there that we took the guide out from, but like, dude, you want to talk about a pretty cool little fly shop, man. Just thousands of flies, fly patterns, walking around checking out all the different bugs and all that stuff, man. It's super cool.
That's awesome. I'm gonna try to plan on going out west next year, and then I'm also gonna I gotta talk to Kevin, but I'm definitely going to New York next year. I'm gonna go to Douglas. I'm gonna go to Douglas Salmon Camp next year for a week.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, meet me up there.
I'm game, dude. You tell me when, and I'm there.
I will. September, October, we're there. Be fun.
As long as it's like before or after opening and duck season, we're good.
I knew that was coming. I was waiting. I heard the dates at the time, like, it's right in the middle of hunting season. It gets real hard to tear us away. It's like,
yeah. No, that'd be cool, man. I saw a lot of great fish caught up there this year, man. I saw quite a few photos, and shout out to Caleb. I know he's moved on now from them. He's moving down to Texas, I think it is, but he was up there helping guide a bunch for those, man, and they caught some huge fish.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I just want to go try to experience. If I catch a fish, then cool. If I catch one of them big salmon, that's cool. But I just want to like be around everyone and camp in that cool area they have, and I'm gonna bring my camera equipment for sure.
Heck yeah, man.
Let me get a couple shots in here.
Heck yeah.
But yeah,
either that or you come up for the urban combat fishing, around the cities with the steelhead and the salmon running out of Lake Michigan.
Nice.
That's how I cut my teeth on that.
I think you'd probably like too, like in the fall, the Muskegon River up in Michigan, when those salmon are coming in. I mean, these are giant salmon, and they're jumping out of the water like nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it's just it's so crazy to see it. Yeah, it's when I saw it, I was like, "What is going on?" Like,
oh yeah,
I've never seen anything like that, But it's such a great backdrop too, where it is in Michigan. But it's really nice. But I would consider that, man, for fishing and pictures.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, very picturesque up there for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to touch back with you guys in Muskegon River. I'll have to try to look that up. I better look it up tomorrow or I'll forget.
It's a beautiful river, though. It is really, really nice.
Nice.
It's really cool. A lot of good fishing. Smallies, all kinds of stuff. Trout.
Nice.
Top notch fishery right there, man. For sure.
That's awesome. Sure. Yeah, I've been still paddling. I'm paddling an NRS inflatable now. I'm liking it. Still, trying to help bridge the gap between fly fishing and kayaking, and working with some companies, kind of a little bit here and there behind the scenes to help develop some equipment and accessories for specifically kind of towards the fly fishing, but it'll cross over to conventional also. But
Nice.
yeah, so it's been fun. I actually talked to Fish Pond earlier today, so that was kind of cool.
That's cool.
Very cool, man. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Well, we're kind of winding down here, man. So how can people follow you, Immersive, and all that good stuff, and just kind of give them a heads up on like when the website may launch and all that good stuff again, man?
Yeah. So Immersive is on Instagram. It's Immersive LLC, all lowercase. Just trying to build that site up, build followers up, and just steady posting content. And then of course I'm on Facebook and Instagram. It's JD Desrosiers. Pretty easy to find. Constantly posting up. I'm kind of sway more heavily towards Instagram than I do Facebook nowadays. I just kind of like the format and how it's running. And then as far as next steps for Immersive is definitely getting the website up and going. I gotta reach out to a couple more people and try to see who's going to design that for me, and get the overall budget for that going. I'm going to do a small run of Richardson hats with the logo on it.
Nice.
And of course do some decals. But yeah, just kind of keep it simple, let it play itself out. And most of all, just, use my talents and abilities to give back to others and just have fun with it. I don't want it to be stressful. I don't want it to be like, oh, this amount of pressure on me. I mean, I still work my 40-hour job, and this is just trying to do more with a hobby.
Sure.
So yeah, again, I mean, as always, I really appreciate you guys. Y'all have always been super supportive. I appreciate y'all letting me come on again. I don't know how many times I've been on, but I love it every time. We always cut up and crack jokes, and I really think the world of both of you, and it means so much to not only me but my wife that you guys allowed us to come on and talk about Immersive. That's super cool.
Yeah, man. You knew that phone call was coming, bro. As soon as you posted this up, you had to know Jay and Brian were going to call. So it's all good, bro. It's all good.
Appreciate it.
No, man, you've been always a huge supporter of us, man, and a great friend over the years, dude. So it's the least we could do is get you on and kind of help you spread the word about this new project that you got going. And I know everybody's always interested in hearing what you got going on, man, because you've always been a unique individual doing all kinds of cool different stuff, dude. So it's super cool, and the privilege is all ours, man. So. But definitely mark us both down for a hat and some decals, and I'll square up with you on that when you're ready to get that stuff ordered up, bro. Because
there won't be no need to square up on anything.
Yeah.
I'll just send it.
Don't make
Just
me
send
send Jay over there. He's only 2.5 hours away now, bro. He's my bulldog. I'll send him over there.
If I hear DMX playing in the background, I'm in trouble.
That's right.
Get at me, dog.
I can't even imagine Jay listening to DMX, so that's just funny in itself.
Hey, man, you don't know. I'm diverse.
Man, he lived in my home. He lived in my town. He literally he used to live like less than 10 minutes from my house.
See? All these
where he's at now?
Before he passed away. Yeah, he used to live like 10 minutes from me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean he's lived down like on the low key, down low around this in my town for quite a while. And before, like I said, before he passed away. But when he first showed up, people were like, oh my gosh, there he is. Crazy looking Land Rovers and stuff. But he was cool, man. Like you could walk up to him at this convenience store and just have a long conversation with him.
That's cool. That's super cool. Very cool, man.
Yeah,
Mr.
we
Randall?
got to get up, guys. We got to get together soon.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to make that happen. I got to come down to Jay, and then Jay could drive the rest of the way to your place.
I'll come up to you guys, and if you get to Jay's, I'm 200% coming up.
All right.
I'll promise you that.
We'll make that happen, dude. We'll make that happen for sure.
Shoot, get y'all guys on some wrasse, and we'll sling some rods from these wrasse and catch some smallies and trout from these big wrasse that we float around in.
I'm all about that, man. I'm all about that. You don't have to ask me twice.
Yeah, man. I've got several buddies with super nice wrasse, so 3-man, 2-man wrasse, we'll have a blast.
Nice.
What time would we be getting up? I'm just curious.
About 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Jay's like, he'll be good with the 2-man raft then.
You guys in the afternoon, you know.
Nah, you don't have to get up early to do that stuff, man. It's easy.
It's hilarious. I like it, man. I like it. JD, thank you, sir, as always, man. It's always a pleasure
thank you, guys.
to have you on, man, and catch up. Mr. Randall, you got any final thoughts, things you want to throw out there, man?
Yeah, JD, thanks for coming on, dude. Sounds cool. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I'm so underwhelming. I know. No, you know we love having you on, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, Jay.
It's pretty neat. Pretty neato.
Good stuff. Thanks everybody that tuned in tonight. We appreciate you being here. We're here every Thursday night, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 5 o'clock out on the West Coast. Boys and girls of the podcast, listening on the audio formats. Thanks for everything. We'll put the links for JD stuff down in the show notes for you guys to go check out. Give him a follow on Instagram, both on his personal page and in the Immersive LLC page, and follow along with all his adventures and shots and stuff that he's getting, man. It's always super cool to see his photography. I've always been a huge fan of it, so I'm sure you guys will love it too. So we will catch you next week. As always, boys and girls, tight lines, smooth paddle. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode here on Paddle and Fin. Be sure to drop a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or smash that subscribe button on any platform you're listening in on. Be sure to check us out on Waypoint TV, waypointtv.com. Make sure you sign up for the Fantasy Kayak Fishing League at paddleandfin.com/fantasy. You could support this show through Patreon, patreon.com/paddleandfin. Don't forget to check out the website, paddleandfin.com. Catch us on YouTube. If you got a question, comment, or want to see a future guest on the show, be sure to email us at paddleandfin@gmail.com. Shout out to our show supporters, Yak Gadget. You can check out all the fine kayak accessories at yakgadget.com. Pelican Professional. For all your cases, coolers, and lighting needs, go to pelican.com. Rocktown Adventures, your Midwest premier paddle sports destination. Go to rocktownadventures.com. Eastport Marina, the beautiful destination on Dale Hollow Lake. If you're looking for lodging, kayaks, kayak accessories, or anything fishing related on the beautiful Dale Hollow Lake, go to eastport.info. And Jigmasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com and fill your tackle boxes today.